What's going on, guys? Aaron Smith here for Forward Gettysburg. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I'm back with a short little video. I think what I'm going to start to do with the channel is to work on some grand overarching projects, talking about some maybe some deeper Civil War subjects, but then put out, some smaller videos talking about, of course, the Battle of Gettysburg, some interesting other Civil War battles, some books, maybe even talk about some of these firearms, stuff like that that were used, or talk about some of the equipment or clothing that was used during the Civil War. So I think that's going to be a little bit more manageable. I think I was super stressing myself out with just coming up with these crazy big ideas, these ambitious projects. What I thought would be a 20-minute video is, turning into a 40-minute video that I've been working on here when I have the time. So I think just for now, I'm just going to start to put out some of these smaller, shorter videos. But again, thank you guys so much for joining me. I know it's been forever. I know. I know. Trust me, I know. Been sick with COVID, been super busy at work, doing 2 jobs, figuring life out. So, it's been way too long, and I do apologize to you guys because you've been incredibly supportive throughout this entire Forward Gettysburg YouTube journey here. So I just want to thank you guys, appreciate your patience. The channel's still growing, even though it's been at least a month or more since I've put out a video, but the channel's still growing, which is wonderful, and that's great. And I want to keep that positive forward momentum going. So today, I want to talk to you guys about my very first Civil War book, and that is the Echoes of Glory Illustrated Atlas book here. Just the Atlas book. It was if you recognize this tag right here, those of you in South Central Pennsylvania, that should be a very familiar looking tag, even though this book I got well over 20 years ago. That is from an Ollie's. They're still using that same shade of orange. They're still using that same exact tag. This is from Ollie's Bargain Outlet. But anyway, by this point, I've gone through this book a million times. Like I've said, I've had it at least 20 years, if not 21 or 22 years. I got into the Civil War super young. It was 5th grade, Hanover Middle School. We did a Civil War reenactment and encampment. Not only that, but we did an entire history for that year was the American Civil War. It was American history from colonization up to the Civil War. So the Civil War was a huge aspect of our history class. So I got sucked in. I caught the Civil War bug in 5th grade. Not only that, we had an awesome field trip to Gettysburg. We walked around. There was a Gettysburg Address contest. Whoever could memorize and recite it in front of all your classmates, whoever could do it the most accurately won the contest. And the prize was that during this field trip, you would give the Gettysburg Address at the National Cemetery. So, not to brag, this guy won the Gettysburg Address contest in 5th grade at Hanover Middle School. So, won that contest, gave it there, got sucked into the Civil War, have loved it ever since. One of my favorite middle school memories was in 5th grade. One of the teachers said 52,000 men were killed at Gettysburg. And me, I corrected them. I said, no, it wasn't 52,000 killed, it was 52,000 casualties. As a 5th grader, even I knew this. And he was very insistent upon that. Forward to 6th grade, I did a book report about Stonewall Jackson where we had to dress up, and my mom, made this super cool makeshift Confederate jacket out of one of my dad's old dress suits. Dad was a hard worker, he never wore dress suits. And then, made me a fake beard, gave me a cowboy hat, and I was looking sharp, man. I brought in some of the cannonballs I had as a little kid that we had found in an old house. She gave me a 99%. And I am convinced that that's because the year before, I corrected her husband when he got the casualty thing wrong. Anyway, Echoes of Glory. This book is beautiful. There are at least 2 different editions of this going around. There is this edition here, which is this all brown cover. This edition of the Atlas book that just has that the brown, not even the same brown really. So 2 different editions of the book. This is the same exact book as this one. This set, it's actually a set of 3 books. There's the Atlas book, of course. There's a book about uniforms and equipment and flags of the North, and the same of the South. I was able to find a heck of a deal after digging on Amazon for this, for the entire set for quite a while. I think I got the complete different editioned set for under $40 on Amazon. This edition of the set, I've seen this go for $100, $80, so it's a little bit more expensive. But this book is filled with gorgeous maps, gorgeous illustrations. This is a very high quality paper. I mean, I feel like I'm flipping through like nice art prints, you know. They do a wonderful job. The detail on the map is pretty self-explanatory. You know, you can look at this and see, all right, you know, I know that these little curlicues are trees, and this was a fence, a railroad, a road, stuff like that. The maps are pretty self-explanatory. It's kind of hit or miss on how much depth they go into in the map itself. Sometimes they keep things at the brigade level, other times they keep it at the division level, and other times they go all the way down to regiment and company level. I know some people really like to, you know, see like brigade level. Other people, they just kind of want the larger picture, you know, let me just see the division level, you know, let me just kind of go from there. And other people, they want to get down in the weeds and the minutia of the regimental level. So keep that in mind as you go through here. The history is solid on this book. You know, they really did their homework. There's nice little captions. There's a little narrative at the beginning of each campaign where they talk about, as I flip through it, right? Should have been prepared. But, you know, as you begin each campaign, there's a nice little, here we go. There's a nice little narrative overview of the campaign here. Gorgeous blown out map. And then as you go through here, the really nice part is they kind of put this order of battle here. And they list, you know, of course, the Army's strength. And they actually go down to the brigade level in these orders of battle. So it's a nice little just look at reference. When I study order of battle, I like to try to get, you know, I like to see the family tree looking kind of thing in reverse, the, you know, divisions. It's hard for me to just look at a list and get the information from that. I like to see it kind of put into a different perspective. But that was my first ever Civil War book that I got. What was your guys' first ever Civil War book? I'm curious. Even now, at 30 some years old, I am a sucker for a good map book. If there's a book with maps in it about the Civil War, I'm gonna look at it. I might even buy it. I love to look at maps, and so you guys can see that influence on my channel too. I love to put the modern day Google Maps, and you know, this is one of the books that I reference, or I'll reference the Phil Lano map book. It's just really cool to look at a map from the modern day and compare it to a map detailing the positions of these soldiers, and then to find a spot and stand there and say, wow, 160 years ago, somebody else was standing right here fighting the Civil War. It's a pretty incredible feeling. Well guys, that's what I got for you. Like I said, gonna do this super short thing here, see how that works out, see if I can't get consistency going on the channel. You know, it's just not... I've been busy, and it's just not fair to you guys to be so inconsistent. So I want to do that a little bit better for you all. As always, my name is Aaron Smith. This has been Forward Gettysburg, and I will catch you on the next one.